Every life is shaped and molded by the words spoken into it, whether those words rise from one's own lips or echo through the atmosphere from others. Words are not idle sounds, they are living currents, vibrating with the power of creation. A word is a seed, small in form but infinite in potential, and no seed once sown can fail to bring forth after its kind. To understand this is to take hold of the very lever by which destiny is moved. For as surely as the farmer who plants wheat cannot expect thorns, so the soul that plants words of faith and riches cannot reap poverty or fear. Most people speak carelessly, as though words were feathers tossed into the wind, light and inconsequential. Yet each syllable has substance. It takes form in the unseen before it appears in the visible. We are always sowing, always creating, always writing the script of our lives with the utterances we allow to pass our lips. A complaint here, a declaration of lack there, and the soil of the subconscious receives it without question, as a faithful servant carrying out a master's command. The law does not discriminate between jest or earnestness, between ignorance or wisdom. It simply brings forth that which is spoken. There are those who say, "I do not believe words matter. It is action that counts." Yet action is only the body of the word. The word is the spirit that animates action. No deed can come forth without first being conceived in thought and shaped in speech. To say, "I can," sets unseen forces to work in your behalf. To say, "I cannot," halts them as though a door has been slammed shut. One word opens the path, the other blocks it. That is why the Master declared, "By thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." He knew the law and sought to impress it upon every listener. Think for a moment of the child learning to speak. Each new word becomes a doorway to experience. To name an object is to claim it in consciousness. To say light is to perceive brightness. To say mother is to call forth love and safety. As the child grows, the vocabulary of life enlarges, and so too does the field of possible experience. In the same way, when a soul learns to speak words of truth and abundance, life enlarges to match the higher vocabulary. To introduce riches, health, peace, victory into daily speech is to introduce them into daily reality. But what of those who have spoken wrongly for years, who have sown a field of weeds and now find themselves surrounded by lack? Must they remain bound to their careless harvest? No, for the mercies of the law are new every morning. A single right word spoken in faith begins the clearing away of error. Just as a lamp instantly banishes darkness, so the spoken word of truth begins to dissolve the accumulated results of false speech. The power of transformation lies not in the past, but in the present declaration. Consider the one who constantly says, "I never have enough." The subconscious obediently reproduces the condition of insufficiency, arranging circumstances so that wages fall short, bills increase, and opportunities pass by unseen. Yet let that same one awaken to the law and begin to affirm, "My supply is endless and ever-present," and a reversal begins. Channels open, work comes forth, and the habit of lack dissolves as mist before the rising sun. It is not chance, it is not fortune, it is the law responding to the right word. Words are the tools by which the invisible is shaped into the visible. They are like chisels in the hands of the sculptor. The block of marble, before you, may appear rough and unyielding, yet with steady strokes it becomes a figure of beauty. So too the conditions of life may appear hard and immovable, yet every word spoken in faith chips away at the stone, revealing the divine design that has always lain within. Without the chisel, the statue remains hidden. Without the word, the riches remain unformed. The ancient sages declared, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This is not poetry alone but revelation. Creation itself unfolded by the spoken command, "Let there be light." The universe did not stumble into being. It was called forth. If man is made in the image and likeness of the Creator, then he too possesses the faculty of calling forth by the word. When he says, "Let there be abundance," and believes, abundance is set in motion. When he says, "Let there be harmony," harmony begins to unfold. He need not toil endlessly in the outer, for his speech is the unseen labor that brings results. Therefore, to guard one's words is to guard one's future. to bless rather than to curse, to affirm rather than to deny, to speak riches rather than poverty. This is the first step on the path of manifestation. For riches do not follow toil alone, nor do they follow chance. Riches follow the right word. The law of the spoken word is not hidden in mystery. It is simple, exact, and unfailing. Every word spoken sets vibration in motion. Those vibrations move into the unseen substance of life, and from that substance form takes shape. Man is never without a tool, never without a creative instrument, for his very tongue is the rod of authority. When you say, "I am strong," strength begins to marshal itself on your behalf. When you say, "I am weak," weakness hastens to fulfill your decree. One word lifts, another word lowers. One word opens doors, another shuts them tight. You may think you are simply talking, passing the time with idle chatter. But the law does not hear casualness, it only hears command. It receives your words as orders, and it carries them out with precision. Look about you, and you will see that no condition comes uninvited. Poverty does not stumble into a life by accident. Sickness does not settle in without a cause. They have been called, perhaps unconsciously, by words of fear, words of complaint, words of doubt. A man who forever says, "Money slips through my fingers," will surely watch it slip away. A woman who continually declares, "I take every cold that comes around," will find her body obeying the suggestion. The word spoken is law fulfilled. Yet the same power that binds is the power that frees. The very law that answers the wrong decree with lack and limitation will answer the right decree with health, abundance, and peace. This is the glory of spiritual law. It is impartial. It does not weigh your worthiness, nor does it measure your past. It simply reflects your present word. The question, then, is not whether the law will work for you. The question is, what are you commanding with your lips this very day? Consider the river. It flows steadily, seeking its level. Place a stone in its path and the current does not cease. It simply moves around the obstacle. So it is with the law. Your negative word may place obstacles in the current of good, yet the river still flows. Remove the stone with the right word, and the waters of abundance rush in unhindered. The supply was always there. It is your decree that determines whether the channel is blocked or open. Some imagine that long prayers and complicated rituals are needed to move the hand of God. But life responds not to length of speech, but to alignment of speech. One word of truth spoken in faith carries more weight than 1,000 words of fear. The centurion said, "Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed." He understood the law. He knew that the spoken word, rightly charged with authority, carried the full power of healing. So it is with riches. To say, "I prosper," when appearances shout otherwise, is to set a greater law into operation. The seen yields to the unseen. Conditions bend before conviction. The outer must eventually conform to the decree of the inner. It is not wishing, it is commanding. It is not begging, it is declaring. For the word is seed, and every seed contains its harvest. Perhaps you have heard someone protest, "But I must speak what I see. I cannot call myself rich when my purse is empty." That would be untrue. Yet faith speaks not of what is seen but of what is promised. The gardener does not deny the barren earth. He plants his seed and declares a harvest. He says, "This ground shall yield wheat," though the soil looks bare. He speaks in alignment with the law of growth, and the law fulfills his word. In the same manner, to speak of riches when lack appears is not falsehood, it is truth on its way to manifestation. Therefore watch well your words. Do not permit your lips to speak what you would not welcome into your life. Guard against complaint, for it breeds more to complain of. Resist the temptation of self-pity, for it invites more cause for sorrow. Instead, fill your mouth with decrees of good. Say, "I walk in divine supply. My path drips with abundance. Riches follow me because I speak the right word." Such affirmations, repeated with conviction, become the very fabric of your experience. The law of the spoken word is as sure as the sunrise. Whether you believe it or not, it is working. Whether you ignore it or employ it, it is working. Therefore, the wise do not speak carelessly. They do not throw words about as idle ornaments. They speak with intention, knowing that every utterance is a seed, every seed is a harvest, and every harvest shapes the destiny of their lives. And so I say again, riches do not come by accident, nor by toil alone, nor by chance. Riches follow the right word, and the right word spoken in faith never fails to bring forth after its kind. There is a difference between words that are idle and words that are right. Many imagine that because they chatter endlessly, they are safe, for what harm could such common words do? But let me tell you, every word is a seed, and some seeds bring forth thorns, while others bring forth roses. The soil of the subconscious does not ask whether the seed is good or bad. It only brings forth after its kind. Therefore, the wise soul learns to plant only the right seed, only the right word. What then is the right word? It is the word aligned with truth. It is the word spoken in harmony with the divine order of the universe. It is the word that carries faith rather than fear, abundance rather than lack, life rather than death. The right word is never careless, never doubting, never crooked. It is straight, clear, and certain. When the lips declare it, the whole of heaven and earth hasten to obey. The wrong word is equally powerful, but in the opposite direction. To declare, I am tired, again and again, is to drain the body of strength. To say, nothing ever works out for me, is to command the law to arrange disappointments. The wrong word binds, the right word liberates. The wrong word closes doors, the right word swings them wide. You may think you are describing your condition when you say, I am poor, but in truth you are decreeing more poverty. You may think you are venting when you say, I am unlucky, but you are fastening misfortune to your path. That is why it is written, let the weak say, I am strong. Why? Because the weak man who says, I am strong, begins to draw upon the strength of the infinite. He is not lying, he is aligning. He is not pretending, he is proclaiming. And the law, impartial and unfailing, begins to rebuild his life according to that word. The power of right speech is not in volume but in vibration. A whisper of truth carries more authority than a shout of fear. A single affirmation of abundance, spoken with faith, outweighs 1,000 complaints of lack. Do not imagine that many words are needed. One word, rightly chosen, rightly believed, rightly spoken, is enough to turn the tide of a life. Let me give you an image. Picture a key. It is small, it is simple, yet when placed into the lock it opens what no amount of pushing or forcing could move. The right word is that key. You may strive with effort, you may labor with worry, and still the door of abundance stays closed. But speak the right word, calm, steady, full of faith, and the door swings open as though it had been waiting for you all along. Every soul must therefore become a watchman at the gate of speech. Before you let a word pass your lips, ask yourself, is this a right word? Is it aligned with the life I desire, or is it chained to the life I would leave behind? Is it pulling me forward into abundance, or backward into want? If it is not the right word, do not let it pass, for every utterance goes forth as a messenger, and it will return bearing fruit. Do not underestimate the power of even casual speech. Many say, oh, I was only joking, when they declare lack or failure, but the law does not laugh. The law does not jest. The law fulfills. Every word, whether spoken in play or in earnest, carries its vibration into the substance of life. That is why the wise man fills his mouth with blessing, with gratitude, with prosperity, with health. His very casual words carry seeds of life, and so his harvest is good. Begin, then, to train your tongue. Let it become accustomed to right speech. Replace complaint with thanksgiving. Replace doubt with affirmation. Replace fear with faith. Say, I am guided. I am prospered. I am supplied. Do not wait for appearances to change before you speak the right word. Speak the right word, and appearances will change. The power of right speech is the power of creation itself. It shapes the unseen into the seen. It takes the formless and gives it form. It calls into being that which had no existence in the outer world until it was spoken. You may hold a vision in your mind. You may nurse a dream in your heart, but until it is clothed in words, it remains unborn. The right word is the breath that gives life to the dream. So guard your lips, for they hold the keys to your kingdom. Do not waste your inheritance on words of lack and limitation. Speak life, speak truth, speak abundance. For every right word spoken in faith builds a path, and upon that path riches will surely follow. An affirmation is not a wish. It is not a timid hope whispered into the wind. An affirmation is a decree, a spiritual command issued with the authority of one who knows his divine inheritance. It is the word of man joined with the power of God, and no such word returns void. When you affirm, you do not beg, you do not plead, you do not wonder. You command, for you are speaking in alignment with eternal law. Let no one confuse affirmations with mere positive thinking. A positive thought without faith is like a lamp without oil. It promises light but offers none. But when faith fills the heart, and the right word is spoken, the lamp is lit, and darkness flees. An affirmation is not made strong by repetition alone, it is made strong by conviction. 10,000 hollow words cannot equal one word spoken in faith. Hear me well when you affirm. You are not trying to create something that does not exist. You are aligning with what already is in the unseen. Abundance exists now. Health exists now. Peace exists now. They are present in the great storehouse of spirit, waiting for your recognition. Your affirmation is the key that unlocks the storehouse. By it, you claim what is already yours. Suppose a king's treasury is filled with gold. His subjects live in poverty only because they do not enter to claim their portion. The king does not withhold it, he has already decreed it theirs. But they must step into the treasury and take hold. So it is with affirmations. They are the stepping into the treasury. When you say, I am abundantly supplied, you are not fabricating riches, you are drawing upon what heaven has already provided. Consider the power of the simplest affirmation, I am. These two words carry creation within them. Whatever you attach to, I am, you invite into your life. Say, I am weak, and weakness hurries in. Say, I am strong, and strength rallies around you. Say, I am poor, and poverty answers the call. Say, I am rich, and riches begin their march toward your path. Guard well what follows, I am, for it is the most powerful decree a soul can utter. Now, let us clothe these truths in living words. Say with me, I am divinely supplied. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. Riches come to me in perfect order, through channels of divine selection. I am guided to right opportunities, and all that is mine by divine right now flows to me with ease and joy. Speak it not as a hope, not as a dream, but as a decree. Feel the authority of it. Let your whole being bear witness that it is so. Another, I walk in health and strength. Every cell of my body is radiant with life. I am renewed, restored, revitalized. The law of perfect health governs me, and every organ, every function, every nerve responds to divine harmony. Do you feel the difference? You are not begging health to come. You are commanding health to manifest. And again, I am surrounded by peace. Nothing can disturb the calm of my spirit. Harmony reigns in my mind, in my home, in my affairs. Divine order governs all that concerns me. Say it, and the very atmosphere begins to shift. For words spoken in faith move not only within you, but around you, arranging circumstances, drawing people, opening doors. You may ask, but must I repeat these affirmations daily? Yes, as the farmer waters his seed daily. Repetition is not vain when it is done with faith. Each time you affirm, you are watering the soil of the subconscious, strengthening the roots, hastening the harvest. But let each affirmation be alive, not dull. Do not mumble as though reading from a list. Speak with fire, speak with conviction. Speak as one who knows that heaven is backing every word. Affirmations are spiritual commands, and commands are not questioned. When the officer gives an order, the soldiers obey. When the captain speaks, the ship turns. When the master calls, the servant runs. So too with life. The law does not argue. It does not hesitate. It fulfills. Therefore, speak your affirmations with the tone of command, not of uncertainty. Do not say, I hope to prosper. Say, I prosper now. Do not say, I wish for health. Say, I am health now. For the universe hears your word and hastens to obey. Every affirmation is a decree stamped upon the substance of life. The stronger the faith, the swifter the manifestation. Therefore, learn the holy art of right affirmations. Let your lips declare the truth until your whole being vibrates with it. Then watch as heaven and earth conspire to bring it forth. Remember always your affirmations are not requests. They are commands spoken in divine authority, and every command, when aligned with truth, brings riches, health, peace, and joy in perfect and appointed ways. Riches are not the privilege of the few, nor the accident of the fortunate. Riches are the divine right of every soul, for man was created in the image of a limitless creator. To think otherwise is to believe a lie. Poverty is not holiness, nor is lack a sign of virtue. The universe is abundant, overflowing, inexhaustible, and you are heir to its supply. To live in want, when riches are your birthright, is to live beneath your inheritance. Look upon nature and see the evidence. The earth does not stint itself. The trees do not bear a single leaf and call it enough. They clothe themselves in thousands upon thousands. The fields do not produce a solitary blade of grass, but a carpet thick and full. The ocean does not give a drop but waves in endless succession. If creation is lavish, how can the child of the Creator be destined for meagerness? It is false belief, not divine decree, that holds a man in want. Yet when I speak of riches, let it be known that I mean more than coins in the purse or figures on a ledger. True riches are health of body, peace of mind, love in the heart, joy in the spirit, and supply for every good work. Money alone, without these, is but dust. But when money flows in harmony with health, love, and peace, it becomes a channel for good, a tool for blessing, a servant of the soul. Do not confuse riches with greed. Greed grasps, riches flow. Greed hoards, riches circulate. Greed breeds fear. Riches bring freedom. The law of riches is the law of circulation. As the blood must move through the body to bring life, so wealth must move through your hands to bless. To give is to keep the current alive. To withhold in fear is to clog the stream and invite stagnation. Therefore, claim your riches boldly, not for selfish gain but for divine expression. Say, I am rich in order to bless. I prosper in order to give. I receive in order to pour forth. Many shrink back from such affirmations, saying, but I am not worthy. Others may have abundance, but not I. To that I answer, worthiness is not earned, it is inherited. A child does not earn the right to sit at his father's table. He sits because he is a child. So it is with you. You are a child of the infinite. The table is set, the feast prepared, the portion waiting. Your worthiness is established by your birth in spirit. It is unbelief that blinds the eyes, fear that binds the hands, doubt that shuts the door. But the moment you declare, riches are my divine right, the shackles fall. For truth always sets free. Poverty is bondage, but abundance is liberty. Lack is limitation, but supply is expansion. When you know that riches are your right, you cease to beg and begin to command. You stop envying and start affirming. You no longer grasp at shadows, for you stand in the sunlight of truth. Let me give you an image. Imagine a man standing before a great orchard. The trees are heavy with fruit, the branches bending under the weight of apples, pears, and figs. Yet he stands outside the fence, saying, I dare not enter. Perhaps the fruit is not for me. Perhaps I am not allowed. So he hungers while plenty surrounds him. But the truth is this, the orchard belongs to him. The gate is open. The fruit is his portion. All that is required is that he step inside and gather. Such is the folly of those who live in lack while riches abound. They have only to claim their inheritance, and the feast is theirs. Therefore declare daily, I claim my divine right to abundance. I do not shrink back in fear, nor do I doubt my inheritance. Riches are mine by right of consciousness, by right of creation, by right of divine law. As you speak, the law responds. Doors open, channels appear, supply flows, and you find yourself walking in the reality of that which you once only affirmed. Do not despise small beginnings. Perhaps today you see but a trickle. Give thanks for it, bless it, and affirm more. The trickle becomes a stream, the stream becomes a river, the river becomes an ocean. Riches do not arrive as a thunderbolt, but as a steady, unfolding manifestation. Each right word spoken in faith enlarges the flow until your life overflows with good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Yes, riches are your divine right. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Not for another, but for you. The law has no favorites. It answers to faith, not to faces. And the one who dares to speak the right word, to affirm his inheritance, to command his supply, will find that heaven and earth move to bring it forth. Truth is best seen in demonstration. A law may sound lofty when spoken, but when it is lived and proved, the heart grasps it and the mind cannot deny it. So let me give you examples, for stories carry the seed of faith into the soil of imagination, where reason alone may fail to plant it. There was once a woman who came to me in despair. She said, "I have prayed, I have worked, I have begged heaven to supply my needs, but my purse remains empty, and bills press me on every side." I asked her, "What words do you speak daily?" She answered, "I am always saying I cannot afford this, I cannot pay that. I confess constantly that I am poor." Then I said to her, "You are not confessing poverty, you are commanding it. You are not describing lack, you are decreeing it. Change your words, and you will change your life." I gave her the affirmation, "I am abundantly supplied. Money comes to me in unexpected ways. My purse is filled, my bank account grows, and I always have plenty to spare and to share." At first she resisted, saying, "But it is not true. How can I speak abundance when I see only lack?" I said, "You are not speaking of appearances. You are speaking of truth. Appearances change, truth does not. Speak the truth until the appearances yield." She obeyed, though with trembling. Each day she declared her supply. Each day she planted the seed. Within a fortnight she received a letter from a relative long forgotten, enclosing a sum of money owed to her late husband years before. Other channels opened. Work was offered. Opportunities multiplied. In less than 3 months her despair had turned into rejoicing, and she said to me, "I see now that riches truly follow the right word." Another came, a man weary of illness. He said, "I am always sick, always weak, always failing." I asked, "Why do you tell yourself so?" He replied, "Because it is the truth." I answered, "No, it is the lie of appearances. The truth is health, strength, and life. You are aligning with sickness by your words. Align with health, and health will answer." I gave him this affirmation, "I am life. I am strength. Every cell of my body radiates divine vitality. I am renewed, restored, revitalized. The law of perfect health governs me." He scoffed at first, but desperation moved him to try. He repeated it morning and night, and whenever fear of weakness overtook him, slowly his strength returned. Slowly his body responded. Within the year he was walking in health, where once he had dragged himself in sickness. Again, the law proved true. The right word brings the right manifestation. Even children demonstrate this law with purity, for their hearts are not yet hardened by doubt. I recall a little girl whose mother feared she would fail her lessons. The child had overheard her mother say, "She is slow, she cannot learn, she will fall behind." Those words were binding the child's mind. But I taught the mother to change her speech and affirm, "My child is quick, intelligent, and divinely guided in her studies." The mother obeyed, and soon the child's learning blossomed. Words had shackled her, and words had set her free. Do you see the pattern? The law does not waver. Whether it is money, health, work, or learning, the spoken word brings forth its kind. Wrong words bind, right words liberate. Wrong words starve, right words feed. Wrong words darken, right words illumine. The scriptures are filled with parables to teach this very law. Did not the Israelites complain in the wilderness, saying, "We are but grasshoppers, and the giants shall devour us"? And what they spoke they received. Their words bound them, and they wandered in lack. Yet Joshua and Caleb declared, "We are well able," and their words opened the way to the promised land. 2 words of faith outweighed a multitude of words of fear. And is it not written that the widow spoke her need to the prophet, and her pot of oil did not fail? Her words aligned with supply, and supply met her. Words opened the way, and the law of abundance fulfilled itself. So I say to you, learn from these examples. Do not wait for appearances to shift before you speak the right word. Speak, and appearances will shift. Do not argue with the soil, plant the seed. Do not wrestle with the darkness, light the lamp. Do not beg for abundance, affirm it. For every story, ancient or modern, proves the same riches, health, peace, and joy follow the right word. Now that you have heard, you are no longer as those who walk in darkness. You know the law, and the law is simple: words build, words bind, words bless, and words break. You cannot say, "It is only speech." No, speech is seed, and seed is destiny. Therefore, choose this day what harvest you will reap. You hold within your mouth the power of life and death. You hold upon your tongue the key to the storehouse of heaven. With your lips you may decree lack, or with your lips you may decree abundance. With your lips you may call forth sorrow, or with your lips you may summon joy. Every morning, when you rise, the law waits for your word. Every night, when you lie down, the law fulfills what you have spoken. The law does not sleep, the law does not slumber. It is working always, shaping, forming, manifesting. Therefore, I charge you, speak only the right word. Let no idle complaint pass your lips. Let no fearful whisper escape your mouth. Cast from you the language of poverty, the language of sickness, the language of despair. Replace it with the language of faith, the language of abundance, the language of health, the language of victory. Let your words be wands of power, not chains of bondage. Say daily, "I am abundantly supplied." Say hourly, "I prosper in all my ways." Say continually, "I am health, I am strength, I am peace, I am joy." Do not weary in repeating these affirmations. For every time you speak them, you strike another blow against the wall of limitation. Every time you declare them, you open another channel for supply. Every time you affirm them, you call forth another angel of abundance to minister to you. Do not measure by appearances. Appearances are shadows, the word is substance. Appearances change, the word endures. Appearances deceive, the word is truth. If you see lack, do not speak it. Speak abundance, and lack will vanish. If you see sickness, do not claim it. Speak health, and sickness will dissolve. If you see failure, do not bow to it. Speak success, and success will rise to meet you. The right word conquers every false appearance. And do not say, "I have tried, and nothing has happened." The seed once sown does not spring up in an instant. It lies hidden, it takes root, it pushes through the soil, and then it bears fruit. The farmer does not dig up the seed each morning to see if it grows. He waters, he waits, he trusts the law of growth. So with your affirmations, do not uproot them with doubt. Do not cancel them with contradictory speech. Speak them, water them with faith, and wait for their harvest. The law cannot fail. Remember, you are not a beggar in the house of God. You are an heir. You are not a servant groveling for scraps. You are a child seated at the Father's table. All that is His is yours, and all that is yours is spoken into being by your word. Riches are not withheld from you. They are waiting for your claim. Health is not withheld from you. It is waiting for your affirmation. Peace is not withheld from you. It is waiting for your decree. So rise in faith. Lift your voice with authority. Speak as one who knows the truth, not as one who doubts. Speak as one who commands, not as one who begs. Speak as one who reigns, not as one who fears. And as you speak, know that heaven moves, the earth responds, and the law fulfills. For riches do not follow toil alone. Riches do not follow chance. Riches do not follow fear. Riches follow the right word.